Good morning and welcome to your daily dose of yoga, or as I like to call it, mindful movement or meditation in motion. We are going to work the muscles and stretch the muscles that are associated with doing dolphin pose, and which will eventually help us move into our apex pose, our challenge pose for the day, which is going to be a headstand. So let's get started. Come onto your mat and come all the way onto your back. To get started, close the eyes, stretch out the legs, reach up overhead, take a deep breath into the rib cage and lift your ribs up towards your hands. And long exhale out of the mouth. Take a little sigh out and settle into your body. Invite your soul into your heart center and into the body. Bring your awareness here and now and set an intention for your practice. Something you can bring to the mat and take off the mat today throughout the rest of the day. And then softly blink the eyes open. Stay in the zone by staying with your breath. Bring the feet to touch. Wiggle the toes. Take the knees just gently side to side. Bring one hand to the belly and one over your heart. Send some breath into the lower abdomen. And then pause. Gently tilt the tailbone down towards the ground. Allow your hip points to press forward and down towards the feet. Press the belly up. Arch the low back, and then wiggle your shoulders, your arms up and underneath you. Squeeze the shoulder blades, and then come up onto the top of the head as much as you can. Press the chest up to the sky, and here you can start to straighten out the legs. See how that feels. Point the toes, activate all the muscles in the upper and lower parts of the legs. Press your hands down firmly into the mat. Breathe into the chest and lift the chest up. Arch the back. And then start to tuck the tailbone underneath you. Bring the knees up and then hug the glutes in and up towards one another. Maybe a slight lift from the ground. Tuck the chin in to the chest, so we're rounding the spine now. And then this one, just a subtle tilt. So lower the tailbone, tilt your hips forward, allow the chest to lift up and away from the ground. Arch the low back and the upper back. And then tilt and hug the tailbone in, curve the spine, bring the belly in towards the other side of the spine. And then come to a neutral pelvic tilt. Just let it rest here. And then hug the knees into the chest. Take them over to the left for a twist here, spinal twist. Reach that right arm out to the side, look over. And then up and over, twist to the other side, to the right. Maybe shift your hips over to the left side of the mat. Look up at your left hand and stretch out your left arm all the way from the inside of the armpit. Let the armpit breathe. Come back to the center. Hug the head up to the knees. And then tuck and roll up onto your sit bones. See if you can balance there on the sit bones. Tuck and roll, balance up on the sit bones. Can you do it? Yes, you can. Okay. Reach the arms out in front, spread the fingers wide, smile, lift the chest, pull the shoulders down and away from the ears. Nice long spine, point the toes, flex the feet, maybe alternate one at a time. You can do it with your hands too. Stretch out the wrists, why not? Let's bring the aliveness into every part of the body and through the phalanges. Pause, hold, find stillness, hug the core in and up. Try to hug the thighs in towards the chest, and then straighten one leg and then the other. Maybe you tap down to the ground and switch. And then straighten out both legs, give it a good shake, let the body shake. And then sweep the hands back behind. Take the feet to plant firmly, press through the heels and lift the hips up. Reverse tabletop here. Ooh, and it's a good stretch in the arms, the hands, the wrists. Lift the pelvis up a little higher. Deep breath. In through the nose, out through the nose. Feel the toes gripping the ground and all 10 fingertips. And then slowly lower the hips down. Okay, come up and over onto your hands and knees and shift your hips up and walk back to downward facing dog. Press one heel down at a time. And then look forward, reach your right leg up, hinge forward, press the weight towards the hands, step your right foot in between the hands. Drop your back knee down. You can keep the toes tucked or untucked for today, whichever you want to choose. And then lift up, bring the hands to the top of the right thigh. Reach the arms up this time on an inhale. And exhale, open up. Open up the arms like a goal post. I love the way that this opens up the chest and just gives you just this sense of empowerment. Okay, from here, take the hands to the hips and then lift that back knee up, straighten out the leg, lift up a little bit higher and press into the front right heel so you activate your right glute. Squeeze the left glute and the back of the behind the thigh, the hamstring. And then on the exhale, lower your back knee down just to kiss the mat and then lift it back up on an inhale. Let's do it again. Exhale, drop it down just to touch and inhale, lift it. Awesome. Sweep the hand down. Step your foot back. And then stay here in plank pose. Take one heel down or one elbow down and then the other. And then press up, straighten out the right arm and then the left. Let's go left side, take the elbow down and then the right elbow down. Keep the core engaged. Press up straight through the left hand and arm and then the right. Awesome. Send the hips up and back to downward facing dog. Take 2 deep breaths. Lift the left leg up high on the inhale. Exhale, bring the weight forward. Plant your foot at the top. Take your back right knee down and inhale, hands to the left thigh. Take a moment to just listen to your breath. Zero in, focused. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, open up the elbows, arms, goalposts, arms. Press the chest forward. And then take the hands to the hips. Lift your back knee off of the ground. Sit up a little bit higher so that you activate your left glute this time. Press into the front left heel. Just notice how it feels different on this side than it did on the other side. Exhale, take the knee down to kiss it, kiss the mat, and then inhale, lift it back up. Exhale, lower the knee down to touch, and inhale, lift. Feel the burn, accept it. See how much you can accept the state of your body right now as it's being challenged, and how much of you is resisting it. Great, take the back knee down, frame the foot, step your foot back, and then take the elbows down. Shift your weight forward over the elbows. Reach the head through, through the crown of the head. Exhale, send your hips back to this dolphin pose. Inhale, shift the weight forward, engage the core. Broaden and spread the shoulders, shoulder blades, and then exhale, send the hips back up. One more time. So inhale, lift forward, shift forward. See how far down you can go, and then exhale, press back. Great. Take the knees down. Take a couple deep breaths in child's pose. Bring your attention back to your intention. And now notice what you hear around you. Zero in on your hearing sense. And on your inhale, come up, lift the head up. Tuck the toes under, send the hips up and back for downward facing dog. So now we're going to work on our headstand. One thing that's important to know about the headstand is after you practice it, come straight back down to a child's pose. If you get up too quickly right after doing an inversion where all the blood is rushing into the head, then you'll feel a little dizzy. So we don't want to do that. We want a gradual change in the blood flow. Okay, so this time bring the elbows down and clasp your hands. Open up the palms and see that little pocket you create. That's going to be for supporting the back of your head. So come up, walk your feet in closer towards your head. Drop the top of the head down onto the mat, and then press the back of your head into your hands. Press up and away from the ground through your forearms, elbows, wrists. Try to firmly and evenly distribute your energy there. And then walk the feet in. Lift the right leg up high. Come up onto the tippy toes of the left foot. And then switch sides. So now left leg reaches up high. And then bring it down. You can go ahead and drop the knees down. Take a child's pose for a couple breaths. And we're going to try it a couple more times here. So this next one, really activate the core
and think hips over head or hips over shoulder. You want to stack the joints. So clasp the hands. Let's come up into that dolphin pose. Press down firmly through the forearms. Tuck and lift the hips up. Walk the feet in as close as you can to your face. And then lift the right leg up as high as you can, and just notice how just because of the tilt, your left foot is going to come be a little bit lighter to lift up. Think hips over shoulders and head. Switch sides. Maybe you can pause and hold at the top for a moment. And just play around with that teetering. Take both feet down. Drop the knees down. Take a rest in child's pose. So we don't want to use any momentum or kicking up at all. We're isolating, we're focused in, we're zeroed in on the core, lifting the legs up. So in this time that when we go up, squeeze the leg muscles, squeeze everything, and maybe point the toes. You can do your yoga toes where you're pressing through the toe mound. You want the whole leg, both legs, to be activated, and continue to keep a slight tilt or tucking of the tailbone and activation of the core. Okay, let's go up again. So press the head into the back of the head into your palms. Press down firmly through your arms. You don't want any weight on the neck. So we're really pushing up and away through the arms. That's the bulk of the support. Head is light. It's not pressing into the ground very hard. Okay, inhale, lift the right leg up high, come up onto the tippy toes, hug the core in, straight, strong legs. See how long you can hold. Push up and away from the ground, and then switch sides. Left leg comes up, hug the core in, straight legs, squeeze the glutes and all the muscles in the legs. Slowly drop it down, and then the knees down. Final child's pose here. Maybe in this one you want to open the knees up wide and come into a wide-legged or a open hip, more wider child's pose. Let's take a couple deep breaths together, in through the nose and out through the nose. One more. Okay. Lift up, sit up. Awesome job. Shake out the legs. Let's come down onto the back. Let's open up the front body again here. Let's do a bridge pose. Lift the hips up. Keep the hands planted down. Actually, let's lift the palms up here. And then tuck and roll the arms underneath you. Maybe you come to a clasp, maybe not. Chin into the chest. Lift the pelvis up. Squeeze the glutes. Hug the inner thighs toward one another. Press down through the toes and heels and the forearms. Back of the arms. Release, lower down. Take the knees side to side. Come into a final rest. Constructive rest pose, just like this. Maybe a hand on the belly, hand over the heart, or you can extend the legs down. Go ahead and take your time resting. Notice all the subtle energy shifts and changes in the body and mind
after doing this practice. Thank you for being here in this beautiful practice with me today. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you mañana. Namaste.